What's going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, you join me for 24 hours with this unbelievable looking Nardo Grey 60th anniversary Lamborghini Huracan STO.
I knew what it was to be black way before I was on GQ cover. How you gonna question me about colour? What you know about Nelson Mandela? Man, I get anti as ever.
Oh, the noises coming out of the back of this thing. Now, as you guys saw in the last video, we had a 488 Pista for 24 hours, and prior to that, we had the supercharged Lamborghini Huracan Performante Spider. So in natural fashion, I wanted to get back into a Lamborghini. I wanted to get back into a V10 Lamborghini because something happened when I was in the Pista. I missed the theatrics and the drama of the Lamborghini platform, specifically the Lamborghini track-focused V10 platform. So I wanted to give myself the experience of the Lamborghini V10 after driving the twin-turbo Ferrari V8. And before us today, we have this unbelievably spec'd, one of 60. There's only 60 of these cars in the world, and this is one of them, a 60th anniversary Lamborghini Huracan STO. Okay, so the Lamborghini Huracan STO, this is the Performante's replacement. The Performante, as you guys know, was my first supercar, so it's going to be some tough going for me to switch from a Performante to an STO. But nonetheless, the STO is a more intense track-focused version of the Huracan platform. This has obviously got the cool bonnet feature where you guys would have seen on the internet. The bonnet kind of opens out like that in true race car format. You've got carbon fiber everywhere. We've got the carbon fiber louvers. We've got these cool little scoops in the bonnet here that are also carbon fiber. There is this unbelievably looking roof scoop up here that has got these sort of louvers as you come down the back of the engine bay, and then carbon fiber at the top here, and this little, it kind of looks like a fighter jet. It's like the suction scoop on top of an F-16 fighter plane has just been dumped on the roof. Now, in terms of visibility, shite. You cannot see anything out the back of this car, but it looks cool, and that's what matters, right? It makes for a good Instagram picture, and it looks cool, and it adds an inch onto the end of your on the end of your bill when you pay for the car. As you come around the back of the car, you've got this carbon fiber. This is part of Lamborghini's active aero system. So this carbon fiber spoiler will actually move up and down. Now, to touch on the 60th anniversary edition, I say this in the most polite way possible. It's not really anything special. It's kind of just an STO with a nice spec and some stickers that say 60 on it. Now, it is one of 60, so technically there's only 60 of these in the world, but it doesn't have a hell of a lot going on beyond a standard STO. One of the things we do have on this car is an aquapovic exhaust. This is an optional extra on an STO, so whether they give you this as standard with the 60th anniversary edition, I assume that's the case. So we have this nice looking aquapovic exhaust. We've got a lot going on the rear diffuser. Lamborghini have maintained their hexagon heritage through the back of this rear diffuser here. There is obviously the two twin exhaust pipes, carbon rear diffuser underneath that. It's a pretty unbelievable looking bit of kit. I'm a bit of a fan of Nardo Grey. I think it's a sexy color, and obviously this example is done in a variant of the Nardo Grey. In terms of the interior here, you can see we have STO based interior, so it's quite similar to the Performante. We do have carbon fiber doors. We've got all of the carbon fiber on the inside, same as the Performante. We've got the carbon fiber inlay over the air conditioning vents. You've got that center console with the upgraded tech of the screen, Apple CarPlay on that screen. That is a major upgrade over the Performante. The tech in the Performante is pretty shit. The STO has solved that problem. This particular edition has the comfort seats. The Huracan Performante with the supercharger that we drove a couple of weeks ago, that had the comfort seats too. I am very quickly being converted into only buying a Lamborghini with comfort seats. It's pretty nice. They're electric, they move around. You don't feel like you're a chiropractor's dream every time you drive it. You can spend more than half an hour in this car without needing a session with your physiotherapist. It's a nice place to be. The cockpit is very driver focused. It's got a real nice racing feel about it. It just feels like you're in a race car. And as I said, Lamborghini do the drama, they do the theatrics very well, and the cockpit of the STO is no exception. This particular model, I'm assuming this is standard on the 60th anniversary edition, has a kind of track telemetry pack. Now, I think that comes with a roll cage, which is sitting behind the driver and passenger seat here, but we also have cameras, one underneath the windscreen mirror and one attached to the roll cage, which is pointing towards the driver. And I believe that is all centered around delivering you a track experience. So the STO being a track-focused Huracan variant, this gives you the ability to take it around the track and gain that telemetry, gain the videography, gain all of the things that you would expect from a full-blown race car. You don't need to have your iPhone 12 mounted to the dashboard on some Temu mount. You've got the camera at the front, you've got the camera on the roll cage, and that delivers you that track experience that potentially some Lamborghini owners are looking for when they purchase the STO. So all in all, it's a pretty special looking car. It's very cool. I'm not 100% sure it's worth a couple of $100,000 more than a standard STO. That black 60th anniversary sticker on the door looks like it's not 250 grand, but it's a very cool car nonetheless. Alrighty guys, so we've been in the Huracan for a couple of hours now. We've done a few different types of drives. We've done some rolling shots. It's a cool car. I do like this car. It does have the Lamborghini flair, but it doesn't have the Lamborghini flair all the time, which is the thing that I don't like about it. Apart from that, it's pretty cool. It's pretty rapid. Above 4.5K RPM, it sounds good. It looks like a fighter jet. It sounds like a fighter jet above 4.5K. Below 4.5K sounds like a bit of a hairdryer. You definitely don't feel the need to change gear for the sake of changing gear, but it's still a cool car. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to, there's actually a really nice tunnel here in Mexico. There is a lovely tunnel just down the road here. The Mexicans did a great job of building this tunnel, and we're going to go through that tunnel and we're going to see what this car sounds like up to the speed limit in Mexico, of course. We're going to see what this car sounds like in the tunnel. Obviously, most of that is going to be above 4,500 RPM so that it sounds like a V10 Lamborghini and not a Hyundai Getz with a hole in the muffler. So let's do it. See, above 4,500, there's the Lamborghini drama. There she is. She wants to come out. She's waiting into the turn. Christ almighty. There it is. There's the Lamborghini, and then now we're back below 4.5K. It's gone. It's still got it. It's still got underneath it all, it has the Lamborghini flair. It's got the drama, it's got the theatrics, it's just not there all the time. That's the key difference. It's a difficult thing because it's not very often you will hear me bag a Lamborghini. I love Lamborghinis. I am a Lamborghini fanboy. But you do drive this car and think to yourself, there's a little bit more. I want a little bit more. I had it with the Pista. I want a little bit more noise. I didn't have it with the Performante. There's loads of noise. It's leery. It's dramatic. It's like, holy shit, there's so much going on here. In this, it has all of that above 4.5, but I want a little bit more. So as we approach the tunnel, here in Mexico. That's a Lamborghini. There she is. Oh. Oh, the noises coming out this thing, honestly. Oh, there it is. Just the whip cracks. Oh my God. See, you don't get that in a Ferrari. I think it would be remiss of us not to sort of roll into a little thing here in 3, 2, 1. my nuts and serve me a milkshake. Oh my God. Oh, the noises coming out of the back of this thing. I'm 15 again. Oh. Unbelievable. Just trying to establish what this car is doing behind us. Is it a Kluger, and does it have sirens on it?
Can't really see.
Neither, because the visibility in this car sucks. No, it's not a Kluger. They probably just wanted a bit of admiration. Okay, all good. They had their high beams on and they were sitting out my ass. I was like, damn it, that's a cop car. Yeah. I was conjuring up all of my stories as to why we were doing that.
Look, we're actually just filming. The proceeds of the video are going to be used to raise money for the Children's Foundation. Yeah, just, charitable causes.
Okay, what were we going to say? One of the best ways to make money as a young person, contrary to popular belief, is not to buy a house. Home ownership in your early 20s is the Australian dream. That's bullshit. That is not true. That is a scam sold to the masses to suck you into a mortgage. If your objective is to make money, buying a property and living in it, or buying a property and rent it out, is a shocking investment. That is not a good way to make money. The best way to make money is to come up with a business that's purpose-driven, that's aligned with your values, that you can work on diligently like it's your firstborn child. That business has the potential to 10x, 20x, 30x, 50 or 100x your original investment. So I want to talk about the property market, and I want to demystify something about the property market that a lot of young people, especially Australians, get sucked into. Home ownership in your early 20s is the Australian dream, right? Wrong. That is not true. Statistically, at least in my adult lifetime, in the last 15 years, that is bullshit. That is not the case. Buying property and investing in the property market is considered a wealth preservation strategy, not a wealth creation strategy. I had this exact conversation with a client of mine this week. They asked me a question about something property related, and I said, I want to buy a property this year. And I literally said, why do you want to buy a property this year? And they were like, what do you mean? I said, why do you want to buy a property? And they were like, I'm not sure. Like, I haven't really thought about it. No one's asked me that. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a valid question. If the reason that you want to buy a property is because you come from an unstable childhood, you had a volatile environment that you grew up in as a child, perhaps your parents separated, maybe you bounced around a lot as a child, and something that's high on your value system is safety, is security, and you find that safety and security in a property, that's fine. If that's your reason for wanting to purchase a property, do it. 100% do it, because you're not doing it for a financially incentivized reason. You're not doing it to create wealth, right? That's okay. That's fine. That's the reason I asked them that question. And when they answered and they said, I'm not really sure, no one's asked me that. And I explained what I've just told you guys now, which is that if that's their reason for doing it, that's fine. But if they're doing it because that's what everybody else is doing, because you watch the TV and they tell you that you're going to miss out on the property boom, that's not true. The property market ebbs and flows. There are cycles in the property market, right? If your objective is to make money, the smartest thing you can do is to figure out what you're interested in, what you're inspired about, what you'd actually like to devote time, money, and energy to in a business setting. Build a business around that, and the $300,000 to $500,000, $750,000 that you were going to buy a house with, use that money to invest in your business, grow your business using the same amount of money that you were going to spend on a property, because that business has the ability to 10x your money. That business has the ability to 20x your money, maybe even 50x your money if you build a good business and you do it right. You cannot get those returns in the property market. When you speak to somebody that's wealthy, they'll say to you, I'm invested in the property market, I'm diversified in the property market. That's as may be, but that is not how they made their money. They made their money in a traditional business setting. If you can get an online business, even better. But in a traditional business format, they built a cash flow positive business model, and then they used the proceeds of that business to diversify into the property market as a wealth preservation strategy, not a wealth creation strategy. This is a key thing that young people miss, because we get it fed into us that we should buy a property. What for? What for? You should not buy a property if your objective is to make money. There are so many ways to outperform the property market versus just buying and holding a property, or buying a property and going to live there, or even in this country, in Australia, buying a property and renting that property out. Most people with rental properties are negatively geared. That means you're going backwards every week. And if the property doesn't go up in value, which not all of them do, you're screwed. Buying a property for the purpose of making money is not a smart decision. I had this conversation, and when I explained it to them, you could see the clogs in their mind ticking of, well, this is what I've been led to believe. This is what I've been told. This is what my parents did. Innovation, looking at ways things maybe don't work as well as they used to. We live in a different time. We're not in the time of, you know, the baby boomer generation when making money in property was super easy. We're in a digital age. You've got the internet, you've got digital assets, you've got online income. There are people doing 300 grand a month from an online business model. Why would you want to buy a property? To get 5 to 10%, maybe. Don't buy a property. Invest that money in a business and it'll 10x the return that the property market may or may not give you. Alrighty guys, so that wraps up 24 hours with the Nardo Grey Huracan STO 60th anniversary. Beautiful car, beautiful spec. I've given you guys and girls my thoughts on the car already, and that's kind of it. That's all we've got time for today. I will see you guys and girls in the next one. Like I said, if there's any specific cars that you want to see 24 hours with, you let me know in the comments below and we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can make it happen. That's all from me. You guys take care and I'll see you in the next one.